Hi, my name is Brody, and I've chosen to focus my edn449 poster on the language and communication disorder presented in primary school students. First of all, I would need to identify what language and communication disorders are. A language and communication disorder can present itself in two ways, either through the student's inability to physically create speech, whether it be articulation or phonological, or the incorrect use of language in comprehension, interaction, and communication systems. This disorder therefore hinders individuals' ability to effectively communicate with the social world, as they aren't able to verbalize their cognitive understanding. This will therefore impact a student's success in their academic, social, emotional, and vocational fields, as they won't be able to communicate on a suitable platform and are therefore unable to relate to the peers as well as the outside world. Due to the complexity and differentiation of characteristics these disorders hold, it is vital that educators first understand the two ways in which this disability can emerge and the interventions that can be incorporated to ensure the needs of these students are met. Speech disorders are present when an individual cannot physically produce the speech sounds needed to communicate effectively. This can be due to lack of actions from the organs of speech, which disallow correct sounds to be created, or the student's phonological comprehension of the sound system, which limits the understanding of differentiation in sound. This causes the students affected to frequently mispronounce words, have inaudible speech, and only use limited vocabulary. This can cause a student within a classroom setting to be very self-conscious when speaking or refuse to speak altogether, which would be a negative effect as they would miss out developing important social skills needed in contemporary society. Language disorders. Language disorders arise in those students that do not have a whole sound understanding of the spoken language, and gaps of knowledge and understanding begin to appear in numerous areas that make up the linguistic components of language. This leads to countless comprehension and internal misunderstandings of the language components to occur, which causes the individual to misinterpret information, present an inability to understand spoken and written words, and utilize a limited vocabulary. There can be any number of areas in which these students can struggle. The language areas are comprehension, phonological awareness, phonology or speech, pragmatics, narrative, syntax and grammar, and semantics. A great tool that teachers can use is something as simple as a picture talk chart. This provides a platform for these students to communicate with the teacher and fellow peers. This tool will allow students to communicate a number of thoughts, emotion, ideas, and objects through the use of visual aid. Through the use of picture charts, teachers are able to gauge the students' understanding of certain topics through the response provided. It has been found in numerous studies that providing students with a platform to communicate on will decrease levels of frustration and anxiety as they feel as though they can contribute effectively in the classroom. Authentic and explicit task. A common issue that arose in numerous studies is the fact that the general classroom educator, when teaching linguistic components of English, was not explicit enough in its content. This causes students to miss out on the cognitive link between language and the linguistic components that is made up of, which creates gaps in the students' knowledge, and as a result, when they move on through their schooling, their performance in English-based topic will be hindered. Therefore, good teaching practice for new educators would be to ensure, when teaching linguistic components, that they are explicit, simple, and accompanied with various visual aids for a relatable and identifiable reference. This would ensure a variety of opportunities for these communication impaired students to make links with the content and create a well-rounded understanding of the linguistic component. A website I found useful is speechtx.com, which has numerous online resources to assist such a student. These resources break down all the linguistic components of speech and language into various modules as explicit in only focusing on one of them at a time, with great emphasis on the link between understanding and interpreting speech and text. Another great intervention is that of a phonological assistant within the classroom. Although classroom teachers can be well prepared, organised, and have the best intentions when it comes to assisting individuals with the communication impaired, it is usually in the best interest of the child, school, and parents to provide a phonological assistant. A great deal of evidence has been found that supports the improvement of child's expression and receptive language or linguistic components when a phonological assistant has been introduced. This provides the individual with one-on-one time where the focus can be specific on the area of difficulty expressed. This added support will therefore provide the classroom teacher with more time to focus on the teaching and the mainstream curriculum, whilst ensuring the needs of these students are met. The phonologist will first assess the student's capabilities and construct an appropriate scaffolded learning experience that caters for the child's needs. It is vital that although the phonologist is supporting the child outside of the classroom, the parents as well as the teacher are informed of the learning and progress that occurs and supports outside of the intervention times. This will allow the classroom teacher to make authentic connections with the learning that happens in the class and what the students are doing.